Hello everyone, and welcome to the True Awakening audio guide. Today we're sharing the essence of this article's theme. It's really an invitation, a chance to redesign your life, not just as an echo of the past, but as a future where your own consciousness has the space to truly grow and mature.
I think we've all been there. You have a job, maybe a family, a home, everything seems to be in place. But underneath it all, do you ever feel this quiet, almost unexplainable emptiness? It's like even when all your needs are met, your soul feels, well, a little constrained, like it's just struggling to breathe.
And that feeling, it's actually a very common starting point for a deeper journey. So today, we're going to unpack a map to help navigate out of it. We'll look at why we feel this way, we'll make a really important distinction between emotion and true consciousness, and then we'll talk about discovering our inner sanctuary. After that, we'll get practical with a gentle technology to connect with it, see a clear roadmap for transformation, and finally, understand how this whole journey can begin right now.
Okay, let's dive into this first part. The source of that empty feeling often comes from a pretty fundamental mix-up. We mistake the means of living, our work, our family roles, all the daily tasks, for the actual purpose of living. And that purpose, at its core, is to grow and mature our own consciousness.
And when we get that mixed up, we end up chasing pleasure, thinking it's the same as happiness. But pleasure, it's so fleeting, isn't it? It always depends on something outside of us. The article we're exploring has this beautiful description. It calls pleasure like drinking seawater. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. True happiness is just different. It's this transparent, lasting peace that comes from within. It's unconditional, it's unshakable. Now this next point is really interesting, and honestly, it's a huge key to breaking free from these cycles. We always hear things like, follow your feelings or value your emotions, but this article draws a very clear line. Your emotion is not the same thing as your soul or your consciousness.
So here's the crucial point. Emotion is just a surface reaction. The source material calls it the turbidity of the heart, which is such a great phrase. It's a temporary storm created by undigested memories, fears, and attachments. Consciousness, on the other hand, isn't the storm, it's the sky. It's the heart itself. It's naturally clear, it's stable, and just like a muscle, it can absolutely be trained and matured. And that brings us to this idea of developing a high consciousness resolution. Just imagine that for a second. Imagine being able to notice the most subtle shifts in your own mind and body with such clarity that you're no longer just swept away by a wave of anger or fear. It's this incredible feeling of inner stability. You become the calm observer rather than the storm itself.
This leads us right to the core concept of the soul's home. And this isn't some far-off utopian place you have to search for. It's a sanctuary of absolute safety and peace that already exists right now deep inside of you. Exactly. This inner sanctuary is a 0 point. It's the place where you're not a parent, not a professional, not defined by any external label at all. You are simply life. And having this internal home base, this 0 point, is the single condition that allows us to operate freely and fully out in the world without being driven by fear.
So the big question is, how do we find the path back to that home? Well, the source offers a really simple, powerful, and accessible tool to begin, and it's presented not as some mystical practice, but as a practical technology for life.
And that first step is metta meditation, also known as the meditation of loving kindness. Please, don't think of this as just another task to add to your to-do list. Try to see it as an act of profound gentleness and kindness, first and foremost to yourself, and then, naturally, extending outward to the world.
And the benefits of this technology are very well documented. This simple practice calms the mind, it stabilizes those turbulent emotions we talked about, and it effectively cleanses the heart. It gently shifts our whole perspective from self-criticism to a much more reflective introspection, and in doing so, it fosters this natural sense of gratitude for everything we've been given.
This first step is really the gateway, and for those who are ready to go deeper, the article lays out a very clear, structured journey. This isn't about finding a quick fix. It's a path to a lasting, fundamental transformation of your life's entire operating system.
It's such a beautiful progression when you feel into it. It starts as just a single point, maybe just 5 minutes of meditation a day. This purifies you, creating a clean vessel for your soul. Then, that point becomes a continuous line as you train your awareness to be stable 24/7. And finally, That line becomes a complete circle, a seamless flow of conscious living, often within a community of others who are on the same path.
Now this might sound like a grand journey, and it is, but it all comes back to this very moment. The entire adventure, the whole path back to your soul's home, begins with a single, simple, personal choice that you can make right now.
By the way, you can watch the video version and see the complete slides via the YouTube link inside this article. We highly recommend experiencing the visual immersion of the light particles there.
Now, for the deeper details, please take your time to read the text below. There is a special kind of stillness found in the written words. They are, as the author says, just fingers pointing to the truth. The real answers are found when you put the words down and enter that quiet space within yourself.
Explore the truth at your own pace. This is the beginning of your own soul's journey.